So I want to touch a little bit on sponsorships a little bit. So I was at dinner the other night with somebody, and they've got a pretty big YouTube channel. And they were telling me that basically the channel they've created right now is basically a sponsorship machine. And this is something that's worth talking about, because I think a lot of people who aren't content creators maybe don't understand this world, but I feel like I saw between the matrix, Nick. I saw behind the matrix a little bit, and I was like, wow. But basically, and he's not the only person to do this, but turn the entire channel into just like a sponsorships thing. And he's just like, dude, I'm just going to like milk the channel until there's nothing left, dude, just all the way down. I was like, wow.
No way.
Not into the ground, but it was very much like, he said I could do a sponsorship video a day.
And then how much, what are they paying for sponsorships?
Some were $20K.
Like, and when you say a day, do you mean like 30 days a month?
Yeah.
So it's like a pipeline that converts trust into money, and then erodes the trust.
100%. So his whole point was, if you can trade some anxiety for cash, it's okay. So like I was like, I don't think sponsorships are free. I think if you do this big sponsorship on YouTube, you're putting your brand and your name behind something. So it's not a free exchange. But the point was made with, like, if you are happy trading a little bit of anxiety for cash, it's like you could X, Y, Z. And so I was like, I don't know. For me personally, I'm not. I don't know. I was like, holy shit! I didn't realize that people, like, it was that prolific. And then I started looking to a few channels, and I've noticed some kind of strange trends where. Tell me if you've seen this or not. But basically, what they do, they turn off the likes and dislikes.
They turn off the likes and dislikes.
No likes and dislikes. And then it's basically every video is a sponsored video. I believe so. Looking at it, and I'm like, every video is just, it just looks like a little sponsor. So I just went on this rabbit hole. It looks a little bit sponsored to me, that does. The likes are turned off. And it just weird stuff like 12,000 views and 4 comments.
Oh, I mean, Jack, if you're gonna say things like this, the logical next question is, who?
Should we investigate?
Are you gonna drop a couple of these? Like, is this gonna become a?
You'll find them out. Yeah, I might do in a sec. But I was like, they must be buying views, because that's the kind of maybe you want to keep up like a charade of, because if the way you make money is for sponsorships, then essentially all you're doing is, like, you just need to make it look like, oh, dude, they're consistently hitting X thousand per video. Awesome.
Yep.
But they're not going to know whether it's sponsored or not. But what I thought was super suspicious was just the likes, because I was like, the likes and the comments are not matching at all. And then I looked at the video view graph, and it kind of went like this, and then went like this.
Yeah. That's the big thing. I'm going to talk about that. The more like linear that thing is, typically the worse. Funny story. Back when I was in college, I ran this event management company, this promo company. That was really like my first step into business. I was selling tickets to various parties and events and stuff. And I got to know this like rapper, and he was this young, very ambitious kid. He was actually extremely intelligent. I feel like the rappers, they get a bad rap because they usually talk about things that are kind of uncouth. This guy talked about a lot of things that were uncouth, but he was also very intelligent. And so he approached his whole rap career as a marketer, not as a like rapper. He cared less about his music and more about like his music videos, if that makes sense. And so he went from like nobody to like 1 million followers basically overnight. And I remember being like, this was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I never had anything like this. So I, naturally started talking to him, and I'm like, hey man, like, dude, like, congrats, because I'd see him in the halls. This is insane. Your brand is blowing the hell up. Like, how'd you do it? As a fellow business owner here, like, I'm marveling at your marketing expertise. And he's like, oh, I just bought all my followers and all my likes. And I use that to get brand deals, because the guys that run these labels and all this stuff, no, they're none the wiser, and they're honestly pretty stupid. And then I was like, what?
Wow.
And I'm like, how much? And he's like, oh, it's, I don't know, 50 cents per 1,000 likes on my video. And I'm like, what? So that led me down the rabbit hole of Black Hat World, which is a website that not a lot of people are going to tell you about, Jack. But we're going to talk about it here on Stacked Podcast.
Dude, this is the podcast for the details, Nick. This is what we get into.
Man. Where you can you can scroll through, and there are services out there, mostly from lower cost of living countries, that run factories with a bunch of other like fake virtual sims or whatever, that have like hundreds of thousands of accounts. And then they have like little API backend setup that like allow them to automatically comment on stuff. So then like you pay for a certain number of followers, and then they just add it to some big queue. And then like the next day, like they'll like, they'll follow, the sub. So you could buy an insane amount of growth. The thing is, obviously platforms know. These are like the most advanced algorithms in the freaking world, right? Some might say these are an intelligence akin to like LLMs. Like these algorithms are nuts. A lot of them are even using LLMs and stuff now. So they know. So what happens when they realize that you do this is they start severely limiting your reach. And so if you have a proportion of like fake likes and comments and views over a certain amount, then they'll restrict the hell out of it. You go down like more than 5% or whatever, you're screwed. So none of your future videos ever make it, but you don't know. So they shadow ban you. And so that's what happened to this guy. This guy, every single video had to pay for, like initially it wasn't that much, right? But then every time he made another video, because people were like, hey, you haven't made a video in a while. Hey, you haven't made like an Instagram post. What's going on? He'd have to spend like $500 getting that to like the 1 million view level, right? Like to be approximately the same amount as people thought he did. And eventually he just burned out. He couldn't do it. The guy, he got like some record deals and stuff like that, but they were like pretty small time. And then he ended up just like, I think he was like a server or a waiter. He was just like pissing all of his money directly away into like buying likes and followers for this fake brand he'd created. Dude, pretty crazy stuff, huh?
Dude, I just want to say that I've seen this a few times. I know some people that have done it and admitted it, and some that have not. There was a guy I used to know, hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. I was like, dude, how the hell is this guy so big? Like, how did this happen? I was really freaking really impressed. And then one of my buddies was like, dude, every time he tags me in a post, there's like 600 Indian comments within like a minute that pop up.
Yeah.
I'm like, interesting. And then there's another buddy of mine. This actually was a friend, and we've not admitted this, but he had the mystical 100K on Instagram, which is like oh my gosh, like this is so cool. You're like a proper influencer, right? 100K, so cool. I was like, what? I said, it was weird because my first thought was like, dude, freaking amazing job, like really freaking cool. And then I was looking at just like general like recent performance, and it was like not marrying up, right? Like obviously you have like times where you're repivoting, whatever. Of course you do 100%, but it doesn't make any sense to me. But then I realized, oh, dude, they've just been bought basically. And I was like, well, just to get that, just for a credibility purchase. And I was shocked, Nick. I was actually shocked. I didn't even think of it. In fact, what I'm going to do right now is share my screen so the world can see what I'm seeing right now.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay, right. So this is a website where you can build, basically buy Instagram, TikTok followers, and other interactions delivered in minutes. Let me remove this. You still see my screen okay?
This is the sort of stuff I was talking about. This is the services on Black Hat World. Exactly.
Yeah, dude. So YouTube's... Dude, I wonder if you could like tank someone's YouTube with this. Just like
That's
buy them like 1 million subscribers or something.
I suppose.
Okay, 10,000
for $300? The economics have changed a fair bit since my little rap friend.
I think subscribers are more expensive, but if you come over to, okay, let's do Instagram, right? Let's say we want to bump up. Let's say we want to get 100K, right? What is that? $400.
And man, YouTube and Instagram, these platforms have to like be hunting these guys like hawks. I mean, this is like...
That's crazy.
They're selling themselves like a legitimate service. They even got a landing page. How do you pay?
Beautiful
like
gradients.
Or something.
Recommending.
Get me the VIP treatment. I want the VIP treatment, Jack.
Do you want the VIP? All right, dude.
Give me the VIP. Ooh, wow. I wonder what VIP means, really. That's interesting.
Well, we can find out. Okay, everything. Okay, what do we got? Real active followers. What does that mean? Serious bets on growth. Okay, let's come up here. 30-day refills, no password required. Real followers from targeted people, reach the explore page and turbocharge engagement, guaranteed instant delivery, priority lifetime VIP support. And they've sold 3.5 billion followers so far.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I mean, stacked podcast.
Dude, we could
need some viewers, Jack.
I'm going to whip out the credit card right now, dude. How many do we want? Dude, if we mysteriously have like 100,000 followers tomorrow, like,
can you imagine? Like in 2 days, we get to like 1 million, and we're like, "What's up?"
Absolutely, but our growth is exponential. Do they accept? But it looks like a legit website. Like this doesn't look like a scam to me at all. It looks like a genuine website, and it is a genuine website. Of course, it is. But it's
But I
just
mean, like
interesting you can buy this stuff.
the Apple Pay bit's weird. Like that's kind of crazy. I'm sure if somebody reported this to Apple, they'd look at it and they'd be like, this we can't keep. This is directly against like the largest social media platform on Earth's terms of service. Like we can't do that. That's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild.
it's a legit service. It does different things, and yeah, I guess I didn't know it was this cheap to buy them. Genuinely.